So Mshololo said, I'm going to stir the pot and I'm not letting anyone serve anything in this meal. We don't know if it is poisonous. We don't know if there's any added ingredients. That we're not doing that today. Okay. Then Mnisi stood up and said, you know what? I want to make a submission and I support Mshololo. Okay. We are not eating whatever food is served today. As a matter of fact, if you all remember, I was the one who was next to cross-examine. I was in the middle of cross-examining this data analyst, Gideon Host. So, you know what, Judge Rata? I want to continue from where I left off. That's the submission. That's what we're doing today. We are here as the defense to tell you your plans are not going to work. This is how today's going to roll. So Mnisi went ahead. First of all, round of applause for Mnisi for that one, okay? Mnisi then went ahead and began his cross-examination. And you know what? Mnisi is not a shy man. He went ahead and took one for the team and said, let's just start from the beginning. Yes, I owe you an apology. I thought you were talking about accused number 2, but you were not referring to accused number 2. You were talking about accused number 5. So that was all a misunderstanding. So we're scratching it off the record. Apology accepted. Host is like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. It started real nice, real simple. So Mnisi goes, I'm just going to continue from there on. And I'm not going to talk about any of the new evidence. The new evidence that Mnisi is referring to is that accused number 3 suddenly has a new number. That is what Judge Rata was trying to force into the record today. The defense said no ways. So Mnisi said, I'm just going to continue with your old chief examination that you brought into the record. I'm just going to continue from there, and I don't have much to say to you. All I want to know is, you said that the database indicates that there was communication amongst all of the accused. Is that right, Mr. Host? And he says, yes, that's right. You got it. And then Mnisi goes on to say, so the information that I have received, okay, it indicates that there was communication between the accused and vice versa. Host says, you got it. That is correct. Okay. Mnisi goes on and says, did you find? And you know when Mnisi moves backwards and then he folds his arms, you know he's about to land his plane. Then he says, did you find any communication between accused number 3? Okay, accused number 3 is Umtobisi Prince Mncube. Okay, that Mnisi is representing. The shorter light guy, okay? And he says, did you find any communication? Arms folded, don't forget. Whenever you see arms folded, that's the signal. Did you find any communication between accused number 3 and accused number 1? There was a long pause. There was some typing of this and that. Host checked and double checked and came back with one word. No. Mnisi said, thank you so much. Okay. So then Host says, accused number 5 had communications with all of the 4 suspects. But Mnisi goes, I just want to know, did accused number 3 have any communication with accused number 1? Host says, negative, Captain. Negative. Land your plane. Mnisi says, okay. Was there any communication? No. And then he says it again. Now, you got to hear this. Witness Van Rata jumps in and says, I'm sorry, I'm not interrupting. That's the first thing he says. If you're not interrupting, what do you want to call it, Mr. Witness Rata? What do you call what you're doing? Because Mnisi was about to land his plane and you just jumped right in. And then he says, I'm sorry, I'm not interrupting. And then he goes on to break down his understanding of what host means when he says all 5 were in communication. Like anybody said they didn't understand, but he had to break that down just to put it on record. I wonder why. But I digress. Let's keep going. And then after Rata had finished his long explanation, host simply replies, no, that's right. There was no communication, exactly the way you said it, Judge. And then Mnisi goes on to say, so in all of your data, okay, in all of the data that you have, do you have any communication between accused number 3, that's my client, and accused number 2? And then again, there's a long pause, typing, and host comes back with one word again and says, no. Negative, Captain. Mnisi then goes, I'm going to put it to you, and I'm not fighting you. I don't know why he had to say that. It sounded a bit defensive, and I just don't like people who are in the middle of saying something and then they try to be, to be non-defensive. Say what you say and say it with your chest, Mnisi. So he says, I'm not fighting you, but accused number three's version says he did not know number one. He did not know number one and number two. Okay, he only started to know them at Boksburg when they were charged for this case. Okay. He does say, however, that there is a link between accused number 3 and accused number 5 and vice versa. And accused number 3 knows number 5, regardless of this case and charges. Listen, these people are lifelong friends. They know each other. Okay? So that is now on record, and they know each other even before being charged. So it is not a surprise that you're finding any communications with them. They know each other. And but what would be a surprise is if you said there's communication with number 2, because he don't know that. Okay? Then from there, he goes on to say, accused number 3 also doesn't deny knowing number 4. If you haven't been watching this proceeding, I don't know what you've been doing. Of course he knows it. It's just on record now. We see how they sit. It's number 3, number 4, number 5. They know each other. And Mnisi just confirms that relationship and says they know each other way before all this. But they know each other way before the 26th of October, 2014. And then Mnisi goes to land his plane and he says, so accused number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 5 know each other. And I'm done talking. Mic drop. And that is it. That is it from Mnisi with Gos's actual affidavit, the real one, the uncooked one, okay? The unverified version, before they now have to add things to make things balance, okay? So have a listen to Mnisi yourself. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Mnisi, because next up is Advocate Ngumalo, and oh my God, he took the whole entire day, okay? The rest of the day. So I might have to break that up into maybe 3 videos because it's a lot. Thanks for watching. As you already know, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for your support. Catch you on our next upload. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Let me just sit on that for a second. But I digress. Here, go ahead, Mnisi. Let's hear it.
Now, for purposes of clarifying your evidence, because I've got a note here that says the number that was saved in the database indicated that there was a communication amongst all the accused. You further say, this is the information that I received which indicated that there was a communication between the accused and vice versa. Now, as we went through the cell phone records as you presented them, my question is, did you find a communication between accused number 3 and accused number 1?
My Lord, that statement I gave, I'll read it at paragraph 15.1,
yes.
2.1. This is referring to accused 5, not accused 1, 3, 5, accused 5. That number of accused 5,
yes.
Information was received, and that number had communication with the other suspects. And that's the what I gave there. This is nothing to do between accused 1 and 3. This is accused 5 with communication with other suspects. So, although I said with all other suspects, you must put it in context with the paragraph it's in. It's not for accused 4 or accused 1 or accused 3. It's related to accused 5. He had communication with all the other suspects.
Thank you, sir. I mean, as a data analyst, I'm well positioned to ask you this question. In the information that you analyze, could you find any communication in all the information that you analyzed between accused number 1 and accused number 3?
My Lord, can I?
Is it not, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm not interfering. Communication in terms of analysis, it's different. That's my perception from communication between me and you. To the layperson, when Mr. House says number 5 communicated with all the accused, meaning number 1, 2, 3, and 4, a layperson thinks 1, 2, 3, and 4 communicated with number 5. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
But it's the other way. The communication is initiated by number 5. But are you with me? That's how I understand it.
It's
But I understand, my lord.
Yeah, yeah, fine, okay. No, no, if I'm wrong, I'm
That's not a rocket analysis. Then
Okay.
I understand. But my further question is, in the data that you analyze, holistically, could you find any communication between accused number 1 and accused number 3?
Okay.
Then I'm going to refer to my new statement, but it's not yet in. It's not yet in,
Yeah, I
in
said
evidence.
that would happen.
But on that, accused 1 and 3, accused 1 and 3, no, there was no communication there.
On the same vein, in all the data that you analyzed, that you received and analyzed, could you find any communication between accused number 2 and accused number 3?
No, my lord.
I'm going to put it to you, sir. I'm not fighting you, but this is just accused number 3's version, that this aligns with his explanation. The fact that you did not find any communication between him, that is accused number 3, and accused number 1 and accused number 2, it is because he did not know them. He only started to know them when they appeared at Boksburg Court, when they were charged for this case.
But I never said that like I said, when I said that there was established that the number had various communication with all the other accused, I never said accused 1 or 3. That was in connection with accused 5.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, you would recall that in your initial information, as you testified in your evidence, in Chair, apparently there was an indication that there was indeed a communication between, or there was a link which suggested that there was a communication between accused number 3 and accused number 5, or vice versa. That should not be a surprise, because it is also accused number 3's assertion that he knew accused number 5 from way back. In other words, before this incident that is the subject of this trial here could have happened. Therefore, a communication between him and accused number 5 could not have been a surprise. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
But I don't understand the answer, Mr. The question and the answer. You are saying your premise, your main premise is that when he, host says, he never said there was communication between number 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. This evidence is the number 5 communicated with the others, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you say, it's not surprising because your client did not know the other clients when they appeared at
Boksburg
on the 27th of October 2019, in other words. Is that how you are phrasing it, sir?
No, what I'm saying, my lord, is in respect of accused, I'm being very specific.
Yeah.
Accused number 3 says he never knew accused number 1 and accused number 2. He started to know them or when they appeared for this case at Boksburg Magistrate Court.
So he knew the others.
I'm coming there, man.
Oh, I see.
Which is the reason why I am saying
Okay.
in Mr. House's data analysis, it is no surprise that he could have found that there was a communication between accused number 3 and accused number 5.
Okay, fine.
Because they had known each other for some time before the commission of this offense.
I see.
The alleged commission of this offense.
So,
now,
so wait. So for my understanding, so
Yes.
Your client knew accused number 3 on the 27th of October 2019. I mean, it's the other way. He knew number 2.
No. I'm saying my client accused number 3 knew accused number 5.
Right? On the 27th of October.
Before that, he knew him well before that.
And when they appeared on the 27th of October 2015,
They had already been knowing
he
each
knew him.
other. Yes.
So the statement that he didn't know the others, encompassing everybody, it's not that way.
No, I did not say
Okay,
others,
fine,
madam.
fine,
That was
fine.
very specific.
Okay.
I referred to accused number 1
3
and accused number
Fine.
2.
Number 2, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, fine, okay.
Thank you. Now, just to complete the picture, accused number 3 does also not deny knowing accused number 4. If, I'm not so sure whether in your evidence in chief, you also found that there was a communication between, or a link suggesting that there was a communication between accused number 3 and number 4. I'm not so sure. But if that is the case, that is also not a surprise because he also knew accused number 4, way before this alleged incident that happened on the 26th of October 2014. Thank you, Madam. That is all that I wanted to take up with Mr. Hose's initial testimony.
Okay.
We will wait for the introduction of the new evidence, Madam.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Mr. Nguma.
That is all.
You know what? I think Mnisi did a great job, didn't waste the court's time, didn't waste taxpayers' time, got straight to the point, said what he had to say, proved what he had to prove. Did he prove the witness irrelevant or irrelevant at this point? No, not really. He just needed to prove that, hey, the information you have, it's already a known fact. The accused do not deny knowing each other. You actually show that there's no communication between accused number 3 and accused number 2. So how did they have this entire crime with no communication with each other? Because if you guys remember, Bongani Ntanzi seems to have been the guy who got the most money, even though the scariest guys seem to have not got the most money, and they are known to pew somebody to death. That's it from us today, Mzansi. Next, we're going over to accused number 4, represented by Ngumalo, and Ngumalo is, tekateking here and there, but he's got a way to go. He's taking too long, but he knows what he's doing. I guess lack of experience or being new at this game or being one of the youngest over there is just taking him longer to land his plane. So be patient with him, but he's still part of the defense team and he's working. The defense have a strategy. I cannot wait to see how Shololo's going to tie tomorrow up because after Shololo's done, they're going to go into the what is it called? Section 167 that Rata's trying to force in so that House's 2 new affidavits go in and then Baloyi talks again. We had such a silent day from Baloyi. Baloyi was ultra quiet today after he was told, no, we're not doing things your way. After that, he just sat in his corner over there and listened attentively. I wish Rata would do that as well. Let me know in the comment section how you thought Mnisi's cross-examination went today. Should he have gone with more fire? Should he have said more? Should he have, been more dramatic? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like this video before you leave. And if you haven't said anything yet in the video, just drop an emoji. It helps me to know who's watching my videos. And, family members stick together. Thanks for watching. Catch you on my next upload.